This video is for the Body Systems topic, Lesson 6, entitled Movement and Muscles. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to describe the function of major muscle groups and be able to explain how antagonistic muscles cause movement. Before we get going today, I'd like to have a think back to the previous lesson where we looked at the parts of joints and how movement is achieved. So what I'd like you to do is to just pause the video for a moment, have a look at the words which are around, or two words in some cases, which are around the sides here, and see if you can match them to the description there. Okay, so pause the video, have a think, and we'll go through those in a moment. Okay, so connects bone to bone. Well, that would be the ligaments. The smooth material at the ends of bones that stops the bones from wearing away is cartilage. The place where bones meet bones, hopefully you've got that one, that's joint. Connects bone to muscle. This is the one which often gets confused with ligaments. It is tendons. The liquid part of the joint which allows the bones to move smoothly over each other for lubrication is synovial fluid. A type of joint found in the elbow is the hinge joint. It can only move up and down, and a type that can move in any direction is therefore the ball and socket joint, and that is found in the shoulder. Okay, good. Hope you did well on that. Okay, on to the subject of today's lessons, muscles in our body. There are many types of muscles in your body. For example, heart is a muscle made out of cardiac muscle tissue. This muscle pumps blood around your body. Other muscles are found in your gut to help squeeze food along, and the diagram opposite shows the major muscle groups in your body that are used for movement. So what I suggest you do is when the picture comes on, just pause the video and take a few moments to identify those muscle groups and remember what they actually do. Okay, so if you pause the video now, have a look at that diagram and take it in. Okay, so we're now going to look at how the muscles actually achieve movement at a joint, and we're going to focus in on the elbow joint, which is an example of a hinge joint, of course. Now, part of your assessment, you will be required to label a diagram like this. So let's see how we get on. Now, some of it will be general knowledge, some of it might be a bit of scientific knowledge that you've got. But hopefully you'll be able to identify the bicep as being the upper muscle in the arm. The shoulder blade is the bone at the top here. The humerus is the large arm bone there. Triceps is the other muscle in the pair that causes the movement. That's the muscle below the arm. The radius is the upper arm bone, and the ulna is the lower arm bone. So just make sure that you can identify those different parts of the elbow joint. Okay, so muscles in our body often work in pairs to cause movement. For example, the elbow joint that you see there. Here it's a pair of muscles called the biceps and triceps that enable the arm to move up and down. Now, you might like to just view the video for a moment and just look at how the size of these two muscles change. When the bicep contracts, so when that gets shorter, the arm is pulled upwards and the triceps get longer and relax. When the triceps get shorter or contract, the arm is pulled down and the biceps relax. And so you can get both up and down movement by the biceps contracting or the triceps contracting. Now, when a pair of muscles work in this way, working kind of opposites to each other, they're what we call an antagonistic pair. Now, folks, it's really important to remember that muscles do not push, they can only pull. So it's the pulling of the bicep here which is raising the arm, and it's the pulling of the tricep which lowers the arm. There is no pushing, it's only pushes. So please remember that point down there. Okay, so the next little exercise is going to go into your notes. So can you put the title muscles, and can you make a copy of the comprehension exercise here? When you've done that, I'd like you to insert the correct word into the spaces. Okay, so again, if you pause the video, make a copy of that, and we'll go through the solutions when you've done that. Okay, let's go through this together then. Muscles are attached to bones by tendons. Muscles are arranged in pairs called antagonistic pairs. Muscles work by contracting. They cannot push. When the muscle contracts, it pulls on the bone. At the same time, the other muscle in the pair relaxes. The pull of the contracting muscle will cause movement to occur at the joints. Okay, well done if you got all those correct. If you didn't, can you please make sure that you've got that correct? Okay, at this point normally we do a little practical. Now because the practical is very simple, it's something that you can have a go at home. So what I'd like you to do is to have a go at the experiment described here. You can use any object as the 1 kilogram mass. If you want to use exactly 1 kilogram, you should be aware that a bag of standard sugar has a mass of 1 kilogram, so you could use that, or perhaps use something which isn't going to spill out if you hit the floor too hard with it. You don't have to write down the method, but I would like you to draw up a results table and follow the instructions here. Okay, so very briefly then, with the first row, you're going to lift that 1 kilogram mass for a total of 3 minutes. Every minute you're going to jot down the number of lifts that you've done. Okay, and then you're going to do exactly the same, but between each minute you're going to have a 30-second rest, and then in this column here you're going to have a 4 minute rest. When you've done that, I'd like to have a go at answering the questions below. The extension exercise is not compulsory, but it would be nice for you to have a go. Okay then, so you should now be able to give examples of muscle groups in the body and what they do. You should recall that joints move due to the action of pairs of muscles called antagonistic pairs, e.g. biceps and triceps.